Hello, and welcome to the Live Past Crazy Show. Your host is Yanmitra Jojo Waddell, the only Live Past Crazy specialist. So what better place to be than here with her? Yanmitra appreciates you taking the time out to listen to the podcast, and it is her sincere hope that what we share is something that you can use to help you and someone you know live past crazy.
Good morning, guys. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Y'all, my voice is wanting to be angry this morning. Good morning. Good morning. And how do you do? Welcome to the Fearless Morning Show. We are having confessions and conversations about your everyday life. My name is Yanmitra Jojo Waddell, the only Live Past Crazy specialist. So what better place to be than here with me? So my voice is angry, but that's okay. It's going to get better. So I hope you guys are ready to get this morning started. I hope you're ready to get this morning started. I hope you had a great day yesterday. I hope you caught. I came on last night around 9. Oh, good morning, Keep. I didn't know that. I didn't see the comment come through. I came on last night around 9 to talk about the leadership conference I'll be speaking at in March in Orangeburg, South Carolina. So, all right, let's get right into the quote and the thought of the day. Please make sure you share the show because sharing is caring. If your friends and family do not have Facebook, send them over to the YouTube channel. They can binge watch all the Fearless Morning shows over there. As I pull up the quote, y'all, I was really thinking about, seriously thinking about getting Sister Locks, but I like to play in my hair way too much to be committed to that. So, yeah, I'm not going to. I'll continue to do these mini twists and we'll work on it from there. All right, let's go right into the quote of the day. No is a powerful word. To me, it's the single most powerful word in the English language. Said clearly, strongly, and with enough frequency and force, it can alter the course of history. And that is by Rhonda Rhimes. No is a powerful word. Please know that it is. No is a powerful word. And it can alter the course of history. And we need to learn to say no more often than we do. But we don't, because we assume we're going to hurt somebody's feelings. So we don't say no. So we just keep accepting and taking it. Because, you know, it's so hard. My favorite thing used to be to say, but it's so hard. But it's so hard. I used to say that all the time. And it got me nowhere. It didn't get me a place at all. So today, the fearless thought of the day. And I want y'all to take notes. I never tell y'all to take notes. Maybe I should do that. So let's take some notes today. Because it's going to be a 2-part series. And part 1, we're talking about you are a small business. The small business of you. That's what we're talking about today. The small business of you. What that means, what it looks like, because you are essentially a small business. So please take note. There's going to be 8 parts of this. We're going to do 4 today and 4 tomorrow. And we're going to talk about it. And I don't want this to be a one-sided conversation. Please talk back to me and let me know if this makes sense to you, or if this is helping you, or if this is some information that you could use. All right, so the small business of you. Oh, she's scared to, why is she outside? She's scared to devil on me. The small business of you. All right, so this is what I want you to think about. You have different departments. And I took notes. I want y'all to take notes. You have different departments and they're all on the payroll, right? They're all on the payroll of JoJo. And when you don't pay somebody, what happens? They stop working. They go on strike, FMLA, workers' comp, leave of absence. They get hurt on the job. They go on workers' comp. But if you don't pay somebody, they stop working, right? So you have different departments and they're all on the payroll. Your body is filled with different departments. And if you don't pay some part of you, it's going to absolutely stop working. You want to operate like a Chick-fil-A and not like a Walmart. Chick-fil-A is specialty. A Walmart is everything for everybody. That's why when you go in Walmart, ain't nobody up at the register. You can't find nothing, and their prices are already always low. That's because they're trying to fit everybody's dynamic, everybody's price range, everybody's everything. And they deplete themselves oftentimes because they simply cannot meet the demand. Don't allow yourself, the small business of you, to become a Walmart. You want to become like a Chick-fil-A, where you meet and greet people as they come into the process of you, okay? The process of you, and you want to carry them throughout the process, but there is a price to pay to have the experience of you. And people are standing in line to pay that price. And not only standing in line, they're doing it with a smile, and so are you. You're able to service them because now you're a specialty. You're not a Walmart trying to service everybody. And I ain't knocking Walmart, but I have went years without ever stepping inside of a Walmart. And I don't like Walmart. Maybe I'm the only person that don't like Walmart. But you don't want the small business of you to represent Walmart. You want to look more like Chick-fil-A. So all departments must work together in order to be fully functional. Okay? So the 8 departments of you, because you are a small business. The first one is, I'm going to do 4 today. Relationships, mental, emotional, and physical. Those are the 4 departments that you have that are essential to you can't make money, or you can't be, and if you think of yourself in terms of a business, think of in the output that you want people to receive or you want to be. When people encounter you, you want them to have a certain experience. And forget, when you encounter yourself, you want to present a certain way. So you are a small business all in yourself. But all 8 departments of you have got to be working. Today we're doing 4. Relationships, mental, emotional, and physical. Those have got to be running smoothly in order for all of you to work properly. Because at any time something drops, if you let one thing drop, then your entire departments, the rest of your departments have to work harder to make things work. Does that make sense? So if my relationships are failing, if my relationships with my mother, my sister, whatever, if they're failing and I'm focused on that, then my mental and emotional and my physical health may decline because all of my energy has now went to fix this crisis. And if I'm a small business, crisis happened, yeah, but I want to make sure that I'm fully equipped, right? That we have set up our foundation of our business so that when crisis hit, we're able to maintain and not go crazy. I'm not saying life ain't going to happen, okay? I'm not saying that, but I am saying that you are a small business and you got to check in on all parts of you. Because there could be parts of you that ain't working so long you forgot that they was even there. So number 1, your relationships. If your relationships are not working, and I know I talk about relationships all the time because they are, if you look at everything, your entire life is only about relationships and relationship building with absolutely everyone that you encounter. So when you encounter me, we are building a relationship. Now, whether that relationship lasts for 1 second or years, we are building a relationship. I can't build with you if my foundation first is not set, right? What's the Bible verse? You can't build a house on sand. Ain't it something like that? Or the seed that was thrown on the different grounds. You got to pay attention to what the business is already producing. So if you are the business of JoJo, right, or the business of whoever, insert your name, and you come across another business, you come across another person, well, you want to look at their output. You want to see what they are in business for. What are they doing? Look at their history. Have they been in business for a long time? Have they been doing the same thing over and over? So think about it like this. If you are a man or a woman and you're entering into a relationship with someone, now you have taken time to have a relationship with yourself, right? We rested in it. We walking it out. We doing all the things. So you've taken the time to do that. So now you have learned some things. You have learned some lessons, and you have learned some things, and you've put some policies and procedures in place. You have put some workflows in place that, and you know how things work with you, right? And then you meet someone whose business may not be established as yours, or it could be established by years. Meaning somebody older than you. But it doesn't mean that they're producing the outcome that you're producing. So then you got to think about, do you want to do business with that business? Does it mirror yours? Does it, what's the word I want to use? Support yours? Nope, that's not the word. Does it groove with your business? Do your business and their business go together? Because sometimes we can try to force businesses or relationships to make sense when they don't. Because facts are facts, right? Numbers are numbers. And sometimes they're not going to make sense. So in the business of your small business relationships, please take that very seriously. That you as a business, you have a relationship that you've got to maintain for yourself. And you don't want to tarnish your own name. So now you got to be careful when you're in relationship with other people. Because they can tarnish your business as well. Your character, your mental and emotional well-being, all of that goes hand in hand. So the second thing is your mental. So if relationships are going great, then your mental is going great. And if your mental is going great, then your emotional is okay. And then your physical. Let me tell you, when you start this journey, you'll find that all things flow together. Have you ever met someone that be like, I'm going to lose this weight. Okay? I'm going to release this weight because we don't want to lose anything because we ain't trying to find it. I'm going to release this weight. And then once they start one thing, like if they start losing weight or they start thinking different, do you not notice that their whole life kind of seems to change? You are a small business. And the first thing you want to do is make sure your foundation with yourself is set, your relationship. So now, some of us are LLCs, some of us are incorporated, some of us have partnerships if you're married, some of us are solopreneurs, we're single. Some of us have been in business for years, but you've got to protect who you are when you're starting relationships with other people. And I'm not saying that, I don't want people to think that you have to be standoffish or that you say I'm better than you or you're better than me. No, I respect your business just like you've got to respect my business. This is Waddell Incorporated over here. So here's Waddell Incorporated, and then we branch off to other parts with the mental, the emotional, the physical, the relationships. All of that branches off from Waddell Consulting over here, right? So if my foundation is not set, I'm going to have a hard time conveying to you how I run my business. I'm going to have a hard time explaining to you how I want to be treated mentally, emotionally, and physically because my foundation is not set. I don't know if I'm a partnership. I don't know if I'm an LLC. I don't know what I want to say to myself. We ain't had a board meeting, a staff meeting. Some of us need to have a staff meeting with ourselves and get us all the way together. So the 4 departments today, on this lovely Thursday, have a staff meeting with your 4 departments today. Because you are self-employed. You are a small business. So let's have a staff meeting today. And let's talk about our relationships, our mental health, our emotional health, and our physical health. Because those are some of the things besides the relationship part, you can address and set up a game plan. But if you're not, you got to be willing to do the work. Some businesses open up, but they don't stay authentic to who they are for long. Meaning, I open up Waddell Consulting Services but after a while I changed my name to this or I changed my name to that. That's because I haven't been fully committed to my business, the business of JoJo first. So on this lovely Thursday, and you're a small business in the business of you, let's look at your 4 departments and how are they operating today. Because if one, let's say your mental has decided I'm going on leave of absence, you know, your emotions, your emotional have said, you don't hurt me so much, I'm quitting and I'm going on workers' comp. And it ain't working until you pay it. So how do you pay your department that's no longer working? Well, number one, you got to pay it some attention. Meaning you've got to address the problem at hand. If you've ever been a manager, and if you ever worked in your life, you know, had a problem with someone, what did you do with management? You went to them and said, excuse me, can you fix this problem, please? I need you to fix this problem right now. Same thing happens when you're the small business of you. If you've been hurt so many times that now your emotional can't keep up with your mental and your physical, and it's destroying all your relationships, you need to have a staff meeting and tell management, we need to do something about this. This is taking ownership of yourself, okay? This is ownership of yourself 2.0. You are a small business. And then have that conversation with yourself. Because when one part of you is not working, it stresses the rest of you out. So you're the four departments today: relationships, mental, emotional, and physical. Now, with your physical, you may want to do all kind of amazing things. But if your body is not up for the task, guess what's going to happen? It's going to quit. And then everything else is going to be overtaxed. Remember, we want to be the Chick-fil-A of business. We don't want to be the Walmart of business where we are servicing everybody with everything and then we are exhausted at the end of the day because we try to hit them with the low prices and the rollbacks. And ain't nobody ever there to run a register. Why is that? So that means when I see something I want or I think that I'm ready to take the next step, but all of my departments are not happy and running smoothly, I can't get what I need because I'm having to focus on this one thing. I'm not available to take, to handle the responsibility of what I need. You are a small business. And until you start to look at yourself as such, and hey, please, this is just JoJo's terminology, but I hope it makes sense. It makes sense to me. Because when we become Walmart in our relationships, when we become Walmart with our mental and emotional and our physical health, we find ourselves trying to please everybody, every which way, and still ain't nobody happy. How many times you done went to Walmart and there's something they didn't have, even if there was people to check you out, you forgot something you did, and nobody's happy. You tired and exhausted. That's because you're trying to do all things to all people except you. You ain't had a staff meeting with yourself yet to talk about what it is. See, there is, when you come into the business of JoJo, right? And I'm your compliance officer in real life. There are certain policies and procedures that have got to be in place. And there are certain workflows that have got to be in place. Meaning, if you want to come inside of this business, and we are going to do business together, and however we see that, whether we're going to be friends, husband and wife, girlfriend or boyfriend, whether we're going to have a mental relationship or an emotional relationship or a physical, hey, let's be grown. Whatever relationship we're choosing to have, there's still certain SOPs. Statement, I'm sorry, I was getting ready to go corporate on you. There's certain SOPs, there's certain statements of work, there's work processes, and there are workflows. Meaning when you come into the business of JoJo, first stop here is the mental for me, and the emotional, and then the physical. Because for me, if the mental doesn't make sense, you're not going to get down into the relationship part, nor the emotional, nor the physical, and whatever aspect of our relationship it may be. So you got to have a work process for interacting with you. Oh, you want to be my friend? Oh, let me go to my purpose partner section and pull up that policy and procedure and tell you how this works. Now, here's the thing. let's please be clear that if we are both adults and working together, then you make compromises and you work together with someone. Just like you bring an employee on into your business or wherever you are, you start to learn the business, right? But they got to understand the rules first. So if I'm a small business and I'm Waddell Incorporated, I need you to understand the business of me. So that starts with me, one, educating you. We're going to have a training and development day. I like that. We're going to have a training and development day where I'm going to give you some essentials that you need in order to be successful in the business of JoJo. Now, here's where the hard part can come in. If you never had a staff meeting with yourself and you're operating as a Walmart, you run out of everything but your prices are low and ain't nobody at the cash register and you're depleted every single day. You don't know what it is that you're searching for. You don't know why things don't work because you ain't took the time to look at them. So as you establishing a business, write out your mission statement, okay? Write out your vision. Write out what it is that you see for yourself and what it is that you want from relationships. So when somebody comes in and wants to do business with me, I'm going to line it up with my guidance of truth, right? And as I've already taken ownership of myself, so you can't come in and take over that, but you can come in and complement. That's the word I was looking for. You can complement what I've already established. Just like if I want to do business with you, I'm going to complement what you've already established. Now, if we're not complementing each other and we're in two different industries, we still got to find a common ground in order to operate and do business. Now, let's break that down into relationships and your mental and your emotional health and your physical. That means if I am doing business with you and we're not on the same level, at some point we've got to sit down and have a conversation about, this is the business of JoJo. What is the business of you? Where is it that you want to go and what is it that you want to do? And until we read big enough to have that conversation, guess what happens? We assume. And then you have assumptions. And then between assuming and assumptions, if y'all break down the word, what's the first three letters? In the middle, the fourth letter is you. And the last two is me. So you make a butt out of you and me when you assume. And that's how businesses go bankrupt. That's how businesses get lawsuits. Because they were not very clear about the services that they were given. They were not very clear about what they could and could not handle. They were not very clear about what they said they were going to do. And that's how you can find yourself in relationships that didn't quite work out because the expectation was never clear. You were not clear on your mission and vision of what you wanted, and they darn sure wasn't trying to help you because they were already on a different level because their mission and vision may have been very clear. Because we didn't understand it, we just assumed, and we didn't take the time to have a meeting of the minds. We set ourselves up for failure. And that's okay. Because we learned a lesson. And now we know from this point forward, okay, let me put a work process in place. So when this happens, I know I'm stopping it at the top and we're not going through all of this. Is this making sense? Y'all don't let me, my ears are itching. Am I just talking to myself? Is this making sense? You are the small business of you. You have 8 departments. The first 4, relationships, your mental, your emotional, and your physical. And you've got to have you got to know what it takes to operate you in order to invite somebody else into your space. And if you don't know what it takes to operate you, if you don't know what it is that you want, if you don't understand what you need mentally and emotionally and physically, okay? If you can't articulate your business to anybody, nobody's going to buy anything that you want. What you're going to get is those scraggler customers that come through every once in a while and they're taking advantage of you because you don't know what it is that you want. You don't know. You have no idea. And if you don't have an idea, they darn sure don't have an idea. And they're not trying to figure it out because you are the small business of you. You should automatically know what it is that you want. You should know what you want, what you need, and what it's going to take to get you there. So on this wonderful Thursday, you are a small business. And let's work on our 4 departments today. What are departments you're going to work on? all your departments are on payroll. And when you don't pay some part of your body, it stops working. Like if my mental is crazy, then that means I've stopped working on my physical. I've stopped working on my relationships. And that's how things can fall apart so quickly. You can be like, it was just this one thing, and then it fell apart so quickly. It stopped working. They went on leave of absence. And then some of us are operating like a Walmart. And there's no problem with that. As long as you understand that's what your purpose is, or that's what you plan to do. If you operate like a Walmart, you got low prices. You got everything for everybody. Everybody can come in and they're going to complain while they're there. But they taking what they need from you, though. Chick-fil-A, on the other hand, has an experience. They meet you, they greet you, they walk you through the entire process, they hold your hand, and they do it all with a smile. And people line up to pay the price for that. When you start to value yourself, even if you're starting at, so you have a staff meeting, you're starting at point 1, and you're working on your relationship department. The more you put work in that, the more you put a work process, a policy and procedure in place, the more you're going to value yourself. The more you value yourself, the more people are going to see the change in you. The more they are going to honor that change in you as well. But you got to first honor that change first. If you're not honoring who you are as a business, who you are as a person, it's hell to explain that to somebody else. I want you to respect me, but I don't know who I am, why I am, what I'm doing, where I'm going, what I want, what love looks like, what I'm bringing to the table. I don't have the essentials down for myself, but I want you to give it all to me. That's called a dumping warehouse, a drop shipment business. You just drop and go. People come and drop and go, and they're not caring. You are a small business, and in taking ownership of yourself, you got to start looking at each department of yourself and addressing whatever is not working there. You can take a notebook. I may give somebody a notebook today. You can take a notebook and you can write it out. If anybody wants a notebook today to start on your small business plan, let me know. This one says, whatever makes you feel the sun from the inside. And this doesn't have, this has dots in it. So if you like writing with the dots. And this one just has the pretty lady on the front with paper. But you need a small business manual. You need to write that thing out. So that now you have something in place so that you can go back and reference. And you got to be mindful of who you are, and that you are at all times representing yourself, that you are a business that is open, and every day you're open for relationships, a mental relationship, emotional and physical. And every day you got to address that. And if something is not working, it's going to break and it's going to stop. And then because I know when my mental and emotional departments are not working well, it shows up in my physical. It shows up on my shoulder. It shows up in my stomach. 8 rules of the mind. 77% of our illnesses are our thoughts. They're not real illnesses. And if we could simply change our thoughts, we wouldn't have the illnesses in our body. High blood pressure is a thought. Have you ever been so mad you could feel your face wanting to explode? That is your thoughts having an immediate reaction on your body. High blood pressure. 77%. So on this wonderful Thursday, know that you are a small business. Whether you're a solopreneur, you incorporated, you're a partnership, whatever it is that you may be, take it very seriously that you have departments of you that must run smoothly in order for you to carry out who you are and the things that you want to achieve. And if you're not serious about that, no one else is going to be. Not only are they not going to be serious about it, if you're not serious about the business of you, when you bring up your anger and hurt to someone, to another business, and say, hey, I'm angry and I'm hurt, they ain't going to have a clue about why you're angry and hurt. Because that was never presented in your business plan. It wasn't part of your mission statement. It wasn't part of your vision statement. At no point did you say no. At no point did you try to change the behavior. You didn't have a staff meeting and say, hey, JoJo, we don't like this. Your emotional department says this is not fun. Can you have a talk with that business and let them know? And so the other business, that's how you know the other business is just fine. Because they operating as business as usual when you have completely shut down because you're no longer doing business with them. What? So you mean to tell me my whole business of me, the business of JoJo, is going to shut down because who I was doing business with is no longer there? That's what happens in abusive relationships. Whether they be mental, emotional, physical, it doesn't matter. If you do not know who you are, and if you've not sat down and figured that out for yourself, it's hard to tell someone else the business of you. Now, we can say, oh, no, JoJo, I know who I am. And that goes back to the quote where we say that we are free, but have we taken ownership of our freed self? That means I'm just saying words. I'm not holding anybody to a standard. There is no taxes and no justifications and there's no consequences for violating the rules. So on this wonderful Thursday, you are a small business. This is part 1. There are 8 departments of you. Relationships, mental, emotional, and physical were today. You want to operate like a Chick-fil-A and not like a Walmart. No, ma'am. All departments must work together in order to be fully functional. Until you take time to establish your departments, and you can please call them whatever you want. These are my departments. These are what I call them. I like sharing my information with you in hopes that it can help you. And it ain't got to be that serious. If you'd like a notebook, please let me know, and I'll send you one. These are 2. One to keep in your pocketbook, and one to keep at your home. So when something hits you, you need to write it down. You got it. All of you is on payroll. And when one part of you stops working, it doesn't get paid. And it shuts down. And it affects the rest of you. The rest of the business of you. All aspects of it. And you may think it doesn't. But look at your health. Has your health deteriorated over the years? Have things you thought never go wrong? Yep, there's a difference between aging and things going wrong that are in our control. I'm just saying. Good morning, ma'am. How you doing? I don't know why I can't see comments over here, but I'm glad I got the screen up so I can see them here. So you are a small business, whether you're a solopreneur, entrepreneur, LLC, partnership. You as a person, you are a small business, and there are 8 departments of you, and all 8 departments have got to run smoothly, and you got to know and be able to articulate what you are, so that when somebody wants to build a business with you or build a relationship with you, you're able to articulate that, so that you'll know whether they're complimenting the business of JoJo or they're not complimenting the business of JoJo. So the first 4 departments we talked about today: relationships, mental, emotional, and physical. Yes, ma'am. I'm a living witness. And let me tell you, I'd rather pay in it now than paying it later, because our thoughts manifest in our bodies. That's truly what high blood pressure is. I'm holding on to. And y'all know I'm a nurse, so yeah, there's a scientific reason for why you have high blood pressure. 8 rules of the mind, 77% says that 77% of the illnesses in our body are because of the thoughts that we had. If me as a small business, and I am in my mental department and my emotional department, they're no longer working. They out on FMLA, leave of absence. They on workers' comp because I ain't been paying them, so they're not operating anymore. So my mental and emotional department are not acting right. They quit. That immediately is going to affect my physical department, meaning I'm going to have the pain in my shoulder. I'm going to be hurt and angry, and I'm going to keep reliving that. And so here comes my high blood pressure. Here comes every diabetes. Here comes all other things. You've got to have a mission and a vision statement of of JoJo. Okay? I'm in corporate. This is Waddell Incorporated sits up here. And all 8 of my departments cascade down. And you've got to have a staff meeting with yourself. And you've got to start with, I started with my relationships. And one of the relationships I had to start with was the relationship of me. If I cannot articulate what it is I want and I need and how you can compliment me, you will bring me everything and I will have to accept it. I don't want to be the Walmart of the world. I don't want to roll back the prices. I don't want low prices. I don't want to be a drop shipment business. I'm not that. I'm the Chick-fil-A. Waddell Consulting Services, Chick-fil-A. We're meeting and greeting, and we hand holding throughout the entire process, and you are served with a smile, and you're willing to pay the price of the experience of my business. Whatever it may be, whether we are friends, whether we are mentally together, emotionally together, physically together, whatever it is, you ain't got no problem paying the price. Because I can articulate what it is that I need, and you can see what it is that I'm producing. And if we complement each other, then that's great. If we don't, then we need to have a meeting to see if this business venture is worth it. Come on, somebody. Is this making sense to anybody? You are a small business. Our departments must work together to be fully functional. I'm all about holistic health. Y'all know I'm thinking about going back to be a holistic doctor. We are all, our body and our thoughts are such a living thing. I'm not fixing to, let me get country. I'm not fixing to let you give me high blood pressure because I don't want to check my emotional and my mental thoughts. That's not fixing to happen. No. My stomach not hurting over you. Because I have a SOP in place. I have a workflow. I'm your compliance officer. So I got policies and procedures. And I'm going down. I'm going to say section 1.2A 2.17.13 says in fine print, JoJo don't like this. And if this happens, this is going to happen. You got to take time to have things in place. Get your little notebook. I'm even gifting you one today. Pick one. First person to send me a message can have either one of these. This one is, I don't like writing in a look because it has the dots on it. Y'all see the little dots? I got to have mine. But you need a notebook. And you need to label it. You need to label your notebook JoJo's Business. Or insert your name. This is my business manual. This is my operations manual. I'm an operations manager and a compliance manager. This is your operations manual. Oh, we want mental. Let me flip right to there. And mental says, write out what it is that you want. Honey, don't be afraid to say that. Because if you're afraid to say it, somebody else ain't going to be afraid to tell it. And you will be doing what they say do. I'm just saying. Quote of the day. No is a powerful word. To me, it's the single most powerful word in the English language, said clearly, strongly, and with enough frequency and force, it can alter the course of history. And that is by Sandra Rhimes. Please, somebody, work on the small business of you today. So tomorrow, we're going to do the other 4 departments that you had today. This is part 1. So you got 8 departments, and these are mine. Please label your departments however you see fit. My emotional department, my mental department, my relationships department, and my physical department. And know that if there's a department that's not working, it might be the pay. It could be that they quit. But either way, you're gonna have to figure that out. You are operating as a small business. And then check your business relationships. Okay? So I hope this has helped somebody today, guys. If it has, please let me know. So that I know that I'm not talking to myself. Please make sure you share the show because sharing is caring. If your friends and family don't have Facebook, send them over to the YouTube channel where they can binge watch all the Fearless Morning shows over there. Don't forget March 13th, 12th through the 14th, I'll be in Orangeburg, South Carolina at the Leadership Conference. And we're going to be talking about the 5 keys to live past crazy. And we're going to develop our own live past crazy blueprint. We're going to be doing some work. So I'm excited about that. On this day, I dare you to be a Chick-fil-A for yourself and not a Walmart. Don't be letting people self-check out. No, we're not doing that. No, I'm not a drop shipment business. You ain't just about to bring me anything and tell me I got to accept it. That's not fixing to happen. Nope. I'm not a drop shipment business. I'm not Walmart. I ain't got no self-checkout. I'm not rolling back the prices. No, I may have on a yellow shirt, but it ain't the yellow smiley shirt of Walmart. No, I'm not wearing the vest. No, I'm not walking around with a gun, the price slashing gun. No, not doing any of that. Not doing it. So on this wonderful Thursday morning, know that you're a small business, okay? This is part 1, so join me tomorrow for part 2. There are 8 departments in the small business of you, okay? I'm Waddell Consulting Services. You can name your business whatever you want. First 4 departments we talked about today was relationships, mental, emotional, and physical. Handle those departments today. Have a staff meeting, all right? So I hope this has helped somebody today, guys. Please make sure you share the show. And I'll see you here bright and early tomorrow morning. Have a good one.
Thank you again for listening to the Live Past Crazy Show with Yanmitra Jojo. She is the only Live Past Crazy specialist, and she is glad you spent your time with her. If you would like to know more about why she knows crazy and about her journey, she invites you to check out her website, www.livepastcrazy.com, as well as follow her on social media. Yanmitra is her tag for IG, Twitter, and Facebook, JANMETRA. She also invites you to join her on the Fearless Morning Show, weekdays at 7:15 a.m. on Facebook Live. Again, you can find us on Facebook with the Fearless Morning Show page or by name. Remember, as a result of working with the only Live Past Crazy specialists, individuals are able to identify the crazy in their lives and develop a specific blueprint to begin to live past crazy. Do you know anybody who needs to live past crazy? Then send them over her way, because there is life after crazy. Be peaceful, period. And Yanmitra will see you guys on the next show.